Greetings, zodiac sign Gemini, Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, and Gemini Moon. Welcome to your reading for August 2023 by amalightworker. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, please remember to turn on the notification bell. Listen for your sun sign, for your rising sign, and moon sign, because all of these three signs would provide you with additional information. And if you like to know more, I have already done an extended reading for each and every sign of the zodiac, and it is available for download and purchase through vimeo.com in the link posted down here below in the show more description box. You can always contact me for a private reading at www.amalightworker.com or email me at amalightworker@gmail.com. I will first open with the messages from the Akashic Records for your sign, and then at the end I will also open a few cards. So Gemini, in the month of August, you have to be very aware of how your emotions could be leading you to make choices and decisions that later you may regret. If your emotions are not strong yet, or they tend to fizzle out, or they're not stable, then that's your cue that you shouldn't be making any decisions that are going to be long lasting. There is a great deal of influence. You are going to end up influencing a lot of people, okay? You are going to come across new ideas, new discoveries. You yourself could be creating something that is going to turn out to be very unique, okay? And you may have followers, especially on any social media platform that you may be on. You are going to generate a lot of interest. People are going to feel drawn to you. They may suddenly you may get phone calls like, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. You are going to have the ability to generate a lot of interest. You could be promoting yourself, generating a lot of interest. You may be promoting a product or doing promotions on behalf of the company that you work for, or maybe you have a business. Very easily you're going to generate the kind of attention that maybe some time ago you wanted to generate it, but for some reason it did not happen. You are also going to be influenced by people with whom you work, people with whom you partner up. You are going to notice how your own belief system is now shifting and changing in a direction that you had no idea it existed. For many of you, you are going to feel drawn to the spiritual worlds. Some of you may be getting messages from your loved ones, okay, like in a mediumship type of situation. For some of you, it's going to be about your own deep understanding of how your emotions, how you feel, and what you think, okay, creates a certain energy, and that energy follows you where you are going. There is this huge shift from thinking negatively to thinking a little bit more positively, while keeping and maintaining a sense of practicality and a sense of realism. I am sure that for some of you, you may want to be very careful because some of you may have a little bit of an upset stomach. So choose and examine your food carefully. They are also showing me that some of you, you could be having some sort of a medical test, blood work, and maybe you are going to find that you are deficient in some sort of a nutrients. For those of you who have been feeling like you have a lack of sleep, it feels that you are still going to be busy, your mind is still active, so it is up to you to make a little bit of an effort to find that balance between resting, sleeping, social endeavors, activities, and work. You are going to feel drawn to new ideas. You may have this desire that maybe you want to move, maybe you want to travel. Okay, not necessarily that that's going to happen now. It could be simply a desire or an idea that is lurking around in your mind, or even an opportunity being presented to you about it. You may have the tendency to jump the gun. You may hear something, okay? You may get some information, and before you fully comprehend the information, okay, or before you let it settle, you may react or counter-react a little bit too soon. Do not overpromise. Don't promise more than you may deliver. If you have children or take care of children, those interactions between you and children that you have in your life are going to be highlighted. On one hand. On the other hand, you may show up to be a powerful force of nature, to hold somebody accountable for what they said, accountable for what they did, accountable for their actions. Not only you're going to call them out on it, but for those of you, if the situation is a little bit more complicated and it requires negotiations or even getting the legal system involved, some of you may also consider doing that. If you have already started some sort of a legal proceedings, it does feel that in August these legal proceedings are going to make a significant turn, or even complete and finally being finished and over with. Some of you are going to be attending some sort of a counseling. Could be a workshop, could be a personal counseling, but it's going to be focused on a job. It's going to be focused on a career, on a job search, or even in the possibility of shifting and changing your career. For many of you, there's a lot to benefit simply by networking, because you are being shown to me as you are going to be navigating through different social circles. Some of these social circles are simply to network. Other ones are going to be providing for you a sense of how your friendships are now expanding and your affiliations. These could be your personal affiliations, personal relationships, but also social groups that you know through family and family members. What you feel about family and how important family is for you, that is going to take a whole new meaning. For many of you Geminis out there, the Akashic records are telling me that you are going to experience changes in the family. It is during this time that you may hear news of pregnancies. You may hear news of marriage proposals, but you may also hear, on the other hand, maybe a couple that you know, it's part of your family relations. Maybe they're not doing so well, or they are breaking up. Maybe they already did, but you just weren't aware of it until now. In more than one way, you are going to get this sense how life is shifting and moving, the ending and the beginning of everything. You know, like a life comes full circle. You may need to be very aware of what kind of words you personally are choosing to express yourself. Because believe it or not, even though to you your words may not be as important, but the way how you're going to deliver a message, how you are going to communicate, is going to deeply affect the person with whom you are communicating. And there is a chance that for some of you, something that you did or something that you are trying to convey as a message may be perceived on the other end of it as being very mean. It could create, the basis for some misunderstandings, but this feels like a way that this too shall pass. And if you are dealing with a project, could be work related, could be at home, anything that you started and hasn't yet finished, it feels that you are going to have in your favor everything that you need to finish or to complete any business affairs projects that are not finished or completed yet. Some people may show up to kind of give you a hand. For some of you, these people could be people that live in your vicinity, in your neighborhood, neighbors. For other ones, you are going to be dealing with volunteers. People may be volunteering to help you. You could be the one offering your free time or your talents, your skills, your expertise to contribute to a cause that you believe in. They are also showing me a lot of activities around your home. For some of you, they're showing me something minor that you may need to rebuild. For other ones, they're showing me like a deep cleaning of your deck, your garage, painting, having to take care of the property line. For some of you, you may have to have some dealings here with the city hall, a deed. So any documentation connected to the property line. It may also have to deal with the fence as well. Not too many people are going to be happy about something good that is happening in your life. And as I'm saying this, you Gemini may be fully aware of who this person is or who this group of people are, because it feels that in some ways you are going to feel a little bit reserved about who is it that you are sharing this good news with. If anything has been promised to you in the work environment, maybe you were promised that promotion or that raise is coming now, it's coming later, okay? And they're keeping you hanging. In August, you are just going to have enough of it, okay? Because it feels that you are either going to place a deadline on somebody, okay, like I want to know now or by this date and I want to know for sure. Otherwise, I'm moving on to a different job, or important deadline could be being put on you that have to deal with projects, work endeavors, business deals, important contracts. So for some of you, it could also be homework, because I'm showing that some of you are taking classes and workshops, and you may have to finish something on a specific date. So you may have to deal with deadlines. Pay attention, because for some of you, if you have skipped something, maybe you shouldn't have done it. For some of you, could be skipping a payment or two, skipping the introduction to a book, to a video, to something of importance. Maybe you are putting something together, okay, and you have to read instructions, but then you're skipping something there. Okay, so pay attention not to skip anything, because it may turn out to be important later. For some of you, it feels that you are going to be rushing somewhere, and you may forget your phone, and then you have to turn around. You could be misplacing your credit cards, or you could be misplacing or forgetting your keys. So, excuse me. Sorry about that. So your mind could be a little bit forgetful. You are going to be considering making important changes to the way how you eat. You could be considering to make important changes to your wardrobe. You may be considering making important changes to your physical appearance. And for some of you, you could have the need to change the environment where you live, or even to make some changes to the environment where you work. Okay, if you have a desk or something else. So you are going to have this urge or this desire for change. So you may decide to go ahead and do something about it. There is this sense that internally you are going to feel this huge shift in energy. Circumstances from the past may suddenly come back in your life to give you a second chance or another opportunity, another shot at it. For many of you, an old dream could now become a reality. They're talking about important financial dealings. For some of you, you could be winning like in a drawing something for free. You could be entering a contest and winning something from this contest. Your work, whatever your work may be, may end up being showcased in a show, in an expo, on social media, on your local media. So it's going to end up getting some exposure at the right time with the right people. I see many of you Geminis finding success in different forms or professions that have to deal with counseling. Could be spiritual counseling, could be psychological counseling, could be energetic counseling, could be, it doesn't matter what this is, could be counseling about health or physical activity. I see a lot of you having ideas about it. If you already are in these fields, you may find yourself to have a lot of passion for it, but also generating a lot of success. You have to be very careful out there, because for some of you, you may deal with a circumstance where you may be interested in somebody, okay, but maybe you don't really know their marital status. Are they single? Are they looking? Are they married? Are they in a relationship? Because for some of you, you may end up being disappointed a little bit from a love connection, from a love relationship. Could be somebody with whom you communicate, or maybe you meet online, but it does feel that whatever you need to understand about this person, you're going to be able to figure it out before it is too late. In some ways, for some reason, love would end up surprising you in so many ways. Okay? And they are reminding you that with everything good comes some sort of a challenge, but also with everything that is negative comes also something good for you, or an advantage for you to benefit from. And this is how you should approach love, whether you are looking for love or whether you already have love in your life. So you're going to be able to see both the advantages and the disadvantages, because this is the perfect point of balance from which you can launch to make a relationship better, to make a marriage better, or to put yourself out there so that you find love. I see many of you being interested in learning new things, reading, taking courses, classes, workshops, being trained through your work. Maybe your work may be sending you to do some training. You may also be in charge of other people that you may have to train. If you have to convert money from one currency to another, you may have to be a little bit more mindful around that, because the currency, how much you benefit if you convert money from one currency to another, could be swiftly shifting and changing from one moment to the other. So that message is highlighted because it may turn out to be important later on if it's not important right away. Now I opened a few cards for you, so let me see what the cards are going to revealing for the month of August for you, Gemini. And remember, I have done a whole new reading for your sign and for each sign of the zodiac for download and purchase. For those of you who are interested, the link for that is posted down here below in the show more description box. The first the first card that showed up for you is the Page of Wands. Usually, if the Page of Wands represents a person, it represents an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. This could be the sun sign, the rising sign, or the moon sign. This card to me represents passion, travel, receiving news from far. Sometimes it also represents a philosophical or a spiritual message that finds you now. It represents a person who is full of energy and ready to satisfy his or her curiosity. And if it involves traveling, then you could be getting ready for it. In some ways, this represents news that will now find you that will be deeply significant. You may be receiving news from family members about a family circumstance, about a settlement, about an estate, and it could also be in regards to properties, shared properties that you may have with others. Pay attention to any bank accounts that you have and you share with other people. If you have any form of shared properties, shared finances, shared financial resources, you may have to pay attention to any activities around that, because there's going to be negotiations back and forth. You may have to look for some sort of receipt or proof, where is this money coming from, or where is it that is going. Some of you are going to be dealing or receiving news about a possible inheritance. The next card that you have is the King of Swords. This card may represent you, because if it represents a person, it represents a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. This could be the sun sign, the rising sign, or the moon sign. It represents a person to go to if you need an opinion. It may also represent a judge having to deal with courts and the judicial system, a judge. Sometimes it can simply represent a person who may appear to be very judgmental, but deep down they're not. That's just how they appear to be. It represents a person who may appear to be distant, but maybe deep down they are not. I keep hearing that you are going to be dealing with a boss, a superior. You may have to deal with people in a position of power. Okay, if you are going to renew your license, the person behind the desk there, okay, will have a lot of power over you. Just to give you an example what it means to deal with people in position of power. For some of you, it feels that an authorization will be granted to you, because they are showing me something sealed. This could be a visa, this could be a license, a permit, something of importance that maybe you applied for Social Security, maybe you applied for benefits, maybe you applied for financial aid. So something that you have been applying for will now go through the system, will be processed, and you are going to hear about it. And it feels like a lot of this will have a positive spin. It will be approved. For some of you, you may have to deal with this judge, because maybe he has to deal with that settlement, okay, or that inheritance that you have to go through court or legal system, or even having to deal with a judge. The next card that you have is Home. So you may end up buying, selling property, a home. You may end up moving. For some of you, it's all about you shifting and changing the environment of your home, not necessarily aesthetically. That portion, the Akashic Records told you about it in the previous portion of this reading. This card to me speaks a little bit more about doing some sort of energy work in your home or even around your property line. Maybe feng shui, maybe space clearing. For some of you, it could be Reiki, or you could be paying for a service where they send angels around your home and your property to boost the energy of your home in one way or another. What bothered you about the space where you lived, it feels that you are going to be able to fix that. They are showing me the roof, the ceiling, and some of you may have to address some issues around the ceiling or the roof. They are also showing me important, if you take a look here, okay? They're showing me somebody showing up to deliver something of importance, a package, important documents coming to you through the post office or through special deliveries, okay, where you have to sign upon receiving. You are also going to end up meeting people that are going to help you in some way. You may have people over, you may get to know people that way. You may be invited to a home party, to a housewarming. So you are going to be having invitations, and you may end up having new people in your house, or you ending up going to other people's homes and meeting a love connection, finding a love connection in that way, or meeting people that are going to turn out to be very helpful to you later on. If you are dealing with a legal situation, okay, maybe you end up meeting somebody, okay, around the neighborhood, or a friend invites you over, or in a house party, and this could be a person that may be helping you with this legal circumstance. The next card that you have is a mature man. This may represent you. For some of you, this is a general reading. But I also keep getting a sense that for some of you, you may end up meeting a mature man. If it's not mature in age, this could be somebody who shows maturity. They could be younger, but they are very mature and very wise. And for some of you, this could be that love connection. And maybe this is what you were hoping to meet all along, a mature person. If this mature man is you are going to be able to resolve one after the other pending situations of your life that now enable you to find stability and to finally be able to move on. Some of you may be thinking of doing dating, an online dating. Maybe you're going to have ideas about going through some form of an arranged marriage, or even going to a matchmaker. I also keep hearing a matchmaker for some of you. The next card that you have, I'm turning this way so you can read it, is priority. It's priority building blocks for life. As you can see, you can see the wings of an angel, the pyramid of Giza, but also the colors of the chakra. So for some of you, literally, you may have to deal with home renovations, buildings, an extension to your home. For some of you, it could be that you end up buying property where you're going to build your home or your business. But I also keep getting the sense that emotionally you are finally going to comprehend what exactly do you need emotionally, so that you can start building the rest of a relationship, the rest of your life, what provides for you stability. Okay, and I also get the sense that there's also money attached, because they're showing me how you are going to be able to shift and transform your finances, particularly if you felt stuck with finances. Okay, there's going to be, for some of you, you are going to figure out a way to pay an old debt. If not, this could be the last payment finally, and the debt is over. Pay attention, because as you are going through this karmic shift of energies, they're talking about your third eye and how your third eye will receive a cleansing. Okay, this is a way for you to feel intuition. You may want to pay attention to any visions that you get when you meditate, when you daydream. You could be spacing out and daydreaming a lot. You could be getting important messages in your dreams. This card, so I am reading the card intuitively, okay? And it may prove very beneficial for you if you have a visual. If you're learning anything, work with charts or graphs or like some form of visual. Maybe you may like to work with a vision board. So for those of you who are on a spiritual journey and you are looking to open up your intuition, you may end up opening up your third eye, and as a result you may be able to receive more mental images, or to see with your mind's eye. Another thing that I keep getting through this card is pay attention to your feet. Okay, for some of you could be reflexology, energy work, simply getting a pedicure, but paying attention to your feet or simply going for a foot massage will help you to keep you grounded, so that you can feel more connected to earth and to nature. There's going to be plans to travel, and I'm not talking about the immediate future. You could be connecting with a new person in your life, travel as a couple, or even traveling with a group of people, because for some of you, you may end up visiting some sort of a place that has pyramids. So it may be Egypt, it may be something about Peru for some of you, but also some places in Mexico, and this is what is being shown to me. Leave me a comment down here below. Let me know how you relate to these messages. And of course, I made a whole new reading for you and for each sign of the zodiac that is available for download and purchase. For those of you who are interested, the link for that is posted down here below in the show more description box. If you'd like to book a private consultation, please email me at amalightworker@gmail.com or visit my website www.amalightworker.com. Please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thank you very much for being here, Gemini, and I will connect with you in the next video. Bye for now.